Thank you. So today I'm going to present you a little bit of the current state of our capability maturity model, how we can use it, and some usages or some conclusions that came from the usage of the maturity model, the application of the maturity model in organizations. Okay, so the source for the maturity model, just to give it a bit of context, is based on best practice, mainly on the ISO standards around this area. So from digital preservation and also from the archival domains. So it mainly is focused on OAIS, mainly not even in the current version as published in the ISO, but we already updated that to the pink book that was released in 2020. That is going to be incorporated into the new version of the ISO that ISO 14721, and it also uses other references like the eArch general model that in the eArchiving reference architecture that Easton is going to talk to you later on. Okay, and all of these references and all of these sources were combined into what is our eArchiving capability maturity model. So the maturity model is combined of a set of levels. There are 5, where at the initial levels the way you do archival, do digital preservation is very informal and ad hoc. And by going through the levels and progressing through the levels until you meet your desired stage, you will become you'll manage your process. You will have a standardized process of doing archival and digital preservation, and as a result, you will lower the risk and you will improve the quality of your process. Okay, you should not strive for the most higher level. You should strive for the level that is most appropriate to your organization, because also maintaining higher levels can be cumbersome and can be costly. So you should go to what is your goal. Okay. So where do the maturity model fits in? So it fits inside more digital preservation with a bit focus of records management and information governance. Of course, it also covers some parts of a bit of process management, a bit of data of risk management and data management and IT governance. Okay. So the capability maturity model, it focuses on what we call 6 capabilities. Those are the ones that are functions that are included in OAIS. So these are pre-ingest. Pre-ingest is not part of AIS, it's part of IMAS, but we also included that because we think that is very important to have pre-ingest. But then it covers ingest, data management, access, archival storage, and preservation planning. So the model is really plug and play. So you will not, if you feel that, for example, your organization doesn't want to focus on data management or access, let's say, for example, you can just use the model to assess yourself on the other capabilities and plan for improvement on those capabilities according to your objectives. Okay, so for each of these capabilities, we will have a set of levels and requirements for each level that you can use independently. So if you want to just focus on ingest or pre-ingest, you are free to do so, and you can do so. Okay, and of course, if you want to use the whole model, you can also use it. So if you go into focus of one of example here, for example, for ingest, what we have is we have a set of criteria for each capability level and we have also a criterion identifier, a name for each criterion, and the criteria that you must achieve to complete the level. So this incremental is like, the model is incremental, is like a ladder, meaning that in order to fulfill a level, you must fulfill all the criteria for that level and the levels below it. For example, to meet level 2, you have to comply with all the criteria for level 2, and to meet level 3, you have to comply with all the criteria for level 2 and level 3. Then, of course, for each of these criterion, then we'd have, for example, here, we will have the called identifier, the title, the question that you must answer, the purpose of this question, why it is important, some notes, some examples of evidence that you can give, where you can extract an evidence that you do this, that you perform this criterion. Also, we have the mapping for the eArchiving reference architecture as it is. So we have meaning that if you fulfill this criterion, meaning that you will have, this is manifested in the reference architecture in an element that you will possess in your organization. Also, if some specific terms are used, we will include them here in the terms line, where we will include a link to the definition of that term. And then, of course, you can have the answers that you can provide and the source. What was the source for that criterion? Okay. In this case, it was criterion 4.2.4 that comes from TRAC, that is a trustworthy repository assessment checklist. So far, we have been reported that over 25 organizations have used this capability maturity model, but of course, as it is free and open for you to use, we suppose that there are many other organizations using them, but they haven't been in contact with us because you are free to download it, use it as you wish. Okay. They have been using it, these organizations, at least some of them use it in this form. So first they perform the self-assessment. So there is something that in the organization that is responsible to go to the questionnaire and fill it up. Then they provide with us in the service that we have, and they have assembled an assessment report. That assessment report was then provided to the assessor, which validated the improvement plan based on the assessment report. And then through a talk between us and the organization responsible, we follow up the improvement plan and we provide new improvement plans as needed. Okay. And then after one of these rounds, we can go again and when the organization says, okay, I have completed all my improvement plan, let's do a self-assessment again and let's see where I am now and what has been improved. And then from then on, if the goal of the organization changes and the organization wants to strive for higher levels of maturity, we can create new improvement plans for that. Okay, so some findings that we found, for example, simple things that organizations did not really verify or were not aware. Okay. For example, we had an organization that had a full preservation system, full archiving system, and was not acquiring preservation description information. And they were not sure why was it important. This was an organization that provided documents that could be used for legal aspects in the future, to verify legal aspects in the future. So what could happen if you don't have preservation description information that includes, for example, information about fixity and information about the information that is in a document, for example, how many pages the document has, for example, how many tables, how many images, where are the images, does it contain a signature, where is that signature, for example, all this information contained between your preservation description information. So what can happen in the future to an organization that fails to meet, for example, this criterion, is that in the future we can have a technology watch service that says, okay, your PDF files that are using version X will not be supported by new PDF reader versions. So the solution of this service is to propose to migrate to PDF-A. So what will the archive do? So it will grab all these files in this version, it will create a migration package, it will put it to ingest, and in the end, we will end up with PDF files using PDF-A format. But then some questions arise. So if someone in the future wants to use this migrated document, how can you check if the migration was successful? For example, how can you check if it is a contract, for example, that you have that migrated version has the signature in the last page, for example, if you don't have any information about the preservation description information and all this information that you need to verify that after, for example, in a migration, that it was successful and that no information, that no content was missed, and that all the content and it fully transpires what was the initial document. Okay, so this was something that was just made aware when they performed an assessment using the maturity model, because they were not sure, they were not aware of this issue. So some other example, for example, is another organization that didn't have ingest, producer, depositor responses. So this means that whenever the package was to be ingested, they acknowledge that they received it. Okay, I received that object, but from then on, all the ingest process was not communicated to the producer. So what could happen? So in the future, the producer can ask, okay, the producer acting as a consumer can ask, okay, give me document XYZ, and the archival solution will give you, okay, I don't have document XYZ, and the producer has a log that says, but I sent it for ingest in a specific day, but the archival solution simply rejected during ingest that object, but the producer was not informed because these responses were not forwarded to the producer and they don't have it anymore, so that object or that document can be lost forever. Okay, so this was the importance, these things that the organization was not really aware of, the importance of maintaining all the responses. Not only I received your document, I will begin reading it, but all the things that happen, not only within ingest, but also when doing your preservation, when you're doing migrations that are needed, the producers should be informed of that, as least as according to what is specified in the agreement. So how can you use the capability maturity model? It is available in this website. So it is our knowledge center, provided also by the DLM forum. So if you go to the eArch products and you go to the eArchiving capability maturity model, you'll be able to download a package that contains two things. First, an Excel file with a questionnaire, which also has instructions, the questions for each capability, the results dashboard, and a PDF document that details all the rationale behind the maturity model, the criteria in detail, and also teaches you how to use the maturity model. Okay, and I think I'm missing some slides here, Anna, but at least. So that Excel file will provide, so by going to each of the capabilities, you will have the questions as I presented, and you can provide answers to those questions, and based on those answers, in the end here in the dashboard, you will have the answers to those questions. So what is the result, and also some graphs in the final spreadsheet. Okay, you'll have some graphs and some things that you can help you then plan ahead and check where you want to improve. Also, if you want some help using the maturity model, you can contact us to our service center, and we can help you on that. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. And I hope you use the maturity model for going up.